Most business owners spend a lot of time trying to find the right CRM. Well, sometimes they get into the CRM and then they spend a lot of time in it, they hate it, and then at the end of the day, they go back to their spreadsheet. Well, today I'm going to show you how to choose a CRM. You're going to end up with probably a short list of 2 CRMs. And as we discuss in the next 20 to 30 minutes, I'll show you steps that you need to do, especially when you start with your CRM on day one, 5 things that you need to look at. We're not going to do any demos. We're also not going to make use of any free softwares, but we're going to discuss the most important things that you need when you choose a CRM. Getting a CRM is not a software decision, it is a workflow decision. The tool that you pick is going to quietly shape how you're going to sell, how you're going to follow up, how much money you're going to leave on the table. If you pick the wrong tool, you're going to underuse probably a $2,000 to $5,000 tool, and you'll be disappointed, especially when you can't migrate all that data into another system, which you think is going to help you. I've watched so many entrepreneurs get a tool and run their entire business on that tool, but they've not set up the proper pipeline and they are losing deals because of that. So the mistake is not the tool that you picked. The mistake is that you did not define what you needed before you picked the tool. So that's what we're going to do today. We're going to define what you need first, and then we match a tool that you need in that order. Before you open a single comparison article, there are questions that you need to answer. Personally, I've created these 5 questions that I would like you to write on a piece of paper and then answer them. They're going to help you to see exactly what you need before you choose that software. So, this is the first question. How many contacts will you store in the next 12 months? It's a very important question. It's not about how many contacts that you have right now. How many will you have in a year? If the number is under 1,000, almost any free tier will work. But if it's between 1,500 to 5,000, then you're in the sweet spot for starter plans. However, if you're above 5,000, you need to start checking the pricing tiers carefully because they might start to charge you per contact. So it's important to know how many contacts you need to store is the first question. What about the next question? Do you sell or do you serve? The most overlooked question in choosing CRM is it a sales CRM or is it a service CRM? They're completely different. You see, a sales CRM is built around moving deals through stages. But if it's about service CRM, we're talking about tracking ongoing relationships. For example, you have repeat clients, renewals, and support history. These are completely different tools. So, for example, if you're a coach, an agency, a contractor with repeat clients, you don't need a sales CRM. You need a relationship CRM because you need to keep those relationships going. So, most people pick the wrong one and wonder why it doesn't fit. So, that's a very important question. That second question you need to ask yourself. So, write this down and then see what you need by writing down the answers. Question 3. Who else needs to use it? Is it just you, the sales department, or sales plus support plus marketing? So if it's just you, simplicity wins. It's just one user. If the marketing department needs to send an email for campaigns inside the CRM, that doubles your shortlist. If the support department needs to see customer history, then you need a CRM with a help desk or a ticketing system that's built in. So the number of people or the different types of people who are going to use your CRM determine which CRM you're going to pick. The first question you need to consider is, what does your sales process actually look like? Do you have 5 stages? Do you have 15 stages? Is it one pipeline? Is it 3 pipelines? It's very important. What is the value of the deal? Is it just $50 or it's $5,000, or it's $50,000. A $50 deal might not need a lot of forecasting and a lot of functions. It's just a straight through thing. But if it's a $50,000 deal with a lot of moving parts, you might need deal rooms, you might need approval workflows. So there are softwares which do both, and there are softwares which focus on a particular item. So you need to know exactly what your sales process is like for you to know which tool you're going to make use of. Question 5: what is your budget? Remember, free is not real. There is no free lunch. Most businesses can comfortably spend between $30 and $80 per user per month if they actually use that software, because it's going to produce money, it's going to produce revenue. Pretending you can do it for just $0 might end up giving you a tool that is not useful, that you might not be able to use effectively. So decide the real number that you are willing to pay. Stop wasting time on tools that you can't afford, even if they work very well. Just choose a CRM that fits within your budget. So write down these questions. Seriously think about them. After you've done this part is when we can go on to the next stage. Remember, these questions help you to know exactly what you need. And then we can choose the CRM that fits within those questions or within the answers that you provide. Almost every CRM you've heard of fits in one of these four categories. There can be more than four categories, but in my case, I think they fit in these four categories. So if you have finished answering all those questions, you see that one of these categories will contain the CRM that you need. So the first category that we're going to speak of in this quadrant that I'm showing you is a sales first CRM. These CRMs are built to move deals through a pipeline that teams are working on. They are visual, they are fast, they are laser focused. We are looking for something that really pushes those sales through. So an example of that is Pipedrive, Close. It doesn't mean that these don't fit in other categories, but their strengths put them in sales first CRMs. So if you want this, you have a defined sales process where you are chasing deals with a close date, and you want to know, what should I do next every morning? If you are looking for something like that, then you fall within this quadrant. However, this is not your quadrant if you're a service business and you have repeat customers and you really don't have deals that you want to push through. You are more like relationship oriented. Then this is different. This is not for you. So for you to fit in this quadrant, you need to have a sales process which has stages, and you're chasing deals and they have a close date. The next form or the next category is an all-in-one platform. These platforms, these CRMs, have additional tools that help your team. When we talk about all-in-one, we're talking about things like HubSpot, Zoho CRM, and ActiveCampaign. Within these CRMs, they support automation, and you'd find that they cover a large range of tools that you can use. For example, if you need to send email marketing and have a CRM working together, then you use an all-in-one platform. For example, Zoho does that, HubSpot does that as well. You'd find that Zoho is the cheaper version and HubSpot is very powerful, but as you go up the tiers, it becomes a bit expensive. If you don't need a CRM that encompasses a lot of tools, right, and a lot of features, or maybe a CRM with a steep learning curve, then this is not your category. In this category, you want something that has additional tools that complement your CRM, email marketing, and things like that, where you can work across teams. For example, you have several departments like sales, marketing, and support. You want ticketing, you want billing. Then these all in one CRMs will help you to do that. The next version we're going to talk about is more of the relationship CRM. Most CRMs support this, but there are ones which really focus on that. What do we mean by relationship CRMs? Aren't CRMs for supporting relationships? They are, but there are certain ones which are particularly have a strong capability in maintaining relationships. I'll give you an example like Copper CRM. There's one called Streak. Why? Because they are integrated with things like Gmail, where you can talk directly to your clients. You can actually follow up, especially in Copper. It can tell you whom you last spoke to in the last 90 days. So you'd want this if you are a service business, an agency or a coach, probably a freelancer, and you want to make sure that you maintain your relationships. That's your sales process. So you need a relationship CRM. There are many that fit within this category. I've just mentioned a few. However, if you are someone who needs to follow up deals, you are really chasing once-off deals, this is not your category. You'd have to fit in the two categories that we spoke of previously. Then there is the fourth category. This one, I call it the lightweight, where these are lightweight CRMs. These are tiny, they are affordable. For example, there's one like Bigin, which has been made by Zoho. You pay maybe $7 to $9 per user per month. We can put HubSpot free in that area. Notion itself can fit here. It's not a CRM, but if you use the right template, you can make use of it as a CRM. So this really works for solopreneurs. If you have under 500 contacts and you have a simple process, and you don't want the risk of complicating a lot of things, this is the right category for you. So if you know that you are going to outgrow maybe 1,000 contacts per year, then you might not fit in this category, because this is a simple software. It doesn't offer a lot of automation, things like that. So if you want to grow, you might need to be in the first category that we spoke of, or in the all-in-one category. Why it's important that you don't stay here if you know that in the next 12 months you have more contacts. It will be difficult for you to migrate those contacts and that information. So you need to choose carefully. Cheap or affordable in itself does not necessarily mean that it's going to fit you. So if you answered those questions, your answers should fit in any one of these categories. Now we're going to go into the decision framework next, as to how do you actually pick the CRM itself. Making the decision can be done by going through a very short framework that I have here for you. So it has got a few steps, which are actually 4 steps. Remember, what we're trying to do is to match the 5 answers to the 4 categories or 4 buckets of the types of CRMs we have. So the first step is eliminate 3 buckets. What you're trying to do is get those 5 questions, answer them, and then try to see where the answers fit. In which category of CRMs do those 5 answers fit? You find that most of the time you're left with 2 categories. Say, for example, you have an all-in-one category and a sales first. Choose the most simple one. For example, a sales first category doesn't have a lot of functions. These ones can be added later, and also it is affordable. So for example, if we were to choose between an all-in-one like maybe HubSpot, and then a simpler one, maybe a lightweight like Bigin, just choose Bigin. That's the simple one. So first thing, make sure that you choose one category. The second thing is pick 2 tools from the bucket, not 5, not 6, just 2 tools. So sometimes you'll be overwhelmed with a lot of choices. So just go on the internet, try to find the 2 most popular, within that bucket, and then make a choice between those two. For example, it can be a choice between Zoho CRM, it can be with HubSpot. So just make a choice between those two. It doesn't mean that if you choose these tools, it's the final thing. You can always come back and make a change if you don't like both of them. Remember, this is a decision framework. If they don't fit in any of these steps, you can come back and make a change. Step three, run the real workflow. Remember, when we talk about the workflow, we are talking about the test. So instead of just going to the reviews and watching a 3 hour long YouTube video, you need to do the actual test yourself. So go in into a sign-in page and then log into an account for free and start to make a test. Remember, some of these give you 14 days or 7 days to test the full functions of the CRM. So those two, log into the first one, test it, and log into the second one. So when we say test, we're simply referring to simple things like create a contact, make a note, maybe make a reminder for next week, create just a simple stages of a deal. That's a pipeline, and then move a deal until it is won, mark it as won, and you're done. Something that simple, not too many things, simple things. Why is it important? You get the feel of how this software works. One of the things I've noticed myself is sometimes I just look at an interface and I don't like it. It's actually a major decision for me. So if you see that it's easy to use, the interface is friendly, it's something that you like, you can make a decision based on looking at such things. So just get in, play around a little, not too complicated, and then make a choice based on that. And the last thing that you need to look at is actually the migration path. You don't want to be locked into a system where you can't get out. You've started using it, but you want to migrate. So, what do you do in this step? Look for where you can export your data. Usually, if it allows you to export in CSV, it means the migration path is a bit easy. Sometimes it can allow you to export in different formats, but the most common one is a CSV format. You can then change it a little and then import it into another system. So you don't want to be logged in. Make sure that you have a clear migration path if you decide to move away from this CRM in the future. I have softwares that I've used for my clients and myself, and I've tested. So these are just my picks in different categories. This might help you in your decision making as well. So for sales first, Pipedrive is very simple. It's actually, its view is legendary. It's easy to start using it. Yes, workflow automation is included, and also their mobile app is actually kind of one of the best in this category. So I kind of like it. You'll be productive in 20 minutes. It's easy. Of course, on reporting on the entry tier might be slightly on the shallow side, but it's something that you can outgrow. You can pay more to get more. That's just how it works. So there are other ones which fit here, but generally Pipedrive is something that I like. Is when I used it, I liked how it goes. On the all-in-one, there is Zoho and HubSpot. I've used both, and I've supported clients for these softwares. Uh, if I'm to choose between Zoho and HubSpot, Zoho is the one that I'll go with. I've used that mostly, and I support it. If you need automation, custom reports, 1,000 marketing contacts, it's easy with Zoho. It's not that expensive because Zoho is what we call Zoho One. You pay probably like $37 a month, and you can choose between different packages of different functions. It be it a CRM, it can be email marketing software and things like that. So they give you like a bunch of apps that you use in conjunction with your CRM. It turns out to be cheaper. HubSpot is really great, but it's just a bit expensive when you start to scale. For example, if you need more than 1,000 marketing contacts, sometimes some of the small functions that we need are bunched up. It can just jump to 800 a month if you need certain functions. It's not bad in itself if you can afford it. It's a very powerful software. But these are two softwares that I highly recommend. I've used them and they're very powerful, especially HubSpot, even on the automation part. Its integration with other softwares is really great. On the relationship softwares, the one that I've mainly used, Zoho is a good one on the relationship softwares. It fits there, not entirely because it's an all-in-one. And there's also Copper. It's coming up. It's fairly new. You'd find that some of the parts are still being updated. But if you live in Gmail, it's really useful because the CRM can actually look inside your Gmail, and then it makes it easy to see who I've talked to on your clients. If I talked to this person in the last 3 months, who do I need to follow up? It's that kind of thing that you can use when you want to maybe follow up on your relationships. But there are many other types of softwares that fit in this category, but this is one that I've mainly used regarding uh, relationship CRMs. For solopreneurs, one that I really liked is Begin. At first, I did not know that it had been created by Zoho, but it's a great software. If you use it, number one, it's very affordable. Number two, you use it quickly within no time. Like if you set it up, you can start using it that very day easily. The learning curve is very shallow, it's not steep. Um, if you're someone who has a few contacts and you really want to maybe migrate these contacts into a higher software like probably Zoho or CRM later, you can do that as well. And really on your pocket, it's a really good software. So on the lightweights, I would recommend Begin. There are so many other CRMs out there. These are the ones that I've used and that I recommend for most of my clients. So you notice that I did not say that this CRM is the best CRM. There is no best CRM. There's a CRM for your situation, and the situation is what we mapped out from the start. So make sure that you do those questions and you do those that framework that I provided you, so that you find the best system for you. On the first day of making use of a CRM, I say I've chosen my CRM that I want to make use of. What should I do? It's very simple. Just follow these things and you find that the use of your CRM will become easy. So don't skip any of these things. Number one, connect your email and calendar first. Don't make your CRM separate from your calendar and your email. These things have to be in sync. It's actually easier to make use of your email, read those emails in your CRM and also your calendar, so that any events that are there, they get synced to your CRM. If you don't connect your CRM to your Gmail, then you don't get to log in. The important events, you don't get to sync them with what you have. For example, you have a meeting with a client, CRMs have the capability of reminding you only if they are connected to your calendar. What's the second thing that you need to do? Exactly define 5 stages in your CRM, not more. I've seen people create 12, 13, 14, 15 stages in a CRM. Nobody uses them. In the sales process, whenever we do our things or with our relationships, the processes are very simple. The ones that you know of, I'll just name them. There is one, getting the lead; two, contacting the lead; three, qualifying the lead; four, a proposal has been sent to the lead; and then five, we are closed. We've won or we've lost. You can refine these later if you find that you need to add something, but don't complicate it, because remember, you might be working with probably 50 or 60 leads, having to move every one of those through a very complicated process. The third thing is import only the active contacts, not every email you've ever had. If you have like a set of 8,000 emails, just as an example, look at the people you've talked to in the last 90 days. Those are your active contacts. They are most likely to give you business. Those are the ones that you import first, because you're going to interact them. You need to follow up. You have active deals with those ones. The rest can only be imported if you want to re-engage those people. Number four, set up one automation, just one, Don't set up 20 automations. For example, new lead comes in, send me a Slack notification. Create a follow-up task in the next 24 hours. That single automation makes it easy to make use of your CRM. Not just easy, but it will help you to show why you are paying for it, and it will actually generate business for you. When you follow up on your task and then you take action on that, it starts bringing in business. So CRMs are not just there to remind us things, but they are there to help us generate business, structure our workflows so that they produce money. That's the main thing. So if you have too many automations which are distracting you, there's no use of that system. The third thing, schedule a 15-minute weekly review. Just 15 minutes block, uh, 15 minutes on a Friday. You've done your week. You're reviewing all the deals that you had that week, ones which did not move, close them or kill them. It's a habit that makes a difference because, I've got into systems where there are thousands of deals. You don't even know which one is active, which one isn't active. They're just static like that. And having to go through all of those will make it difficult. And then you see people just leaving the system. So make it a habit. Make those small changes and tweaks. They will help keep the CRM active and useful to you. So just by looking at these five things, that's what you need to do in the first time that you open your CRM. Uh, we said we're saying connect email, 5 stages of your pipeline, active contacts, one automation, and a weekly review. If you do those things in the first week, you'll find that it will be like a breeze using your CRM. So, quick warnings before we wrap up. Uh, these are things I just thought I would share with you so that you don't fall into these traps. First thing, first mistake, uh, buying based on a demo, not a trial. Demos are like theater. The salesperson knows where to click. You don't. Always try it yourself. Always. Mistake number two, over customizing in 1 week. You don't have to make or change all the settings in the system. Use defaults on things that you don't understand for the next 30 days. Then when you see a gap, read about it and then make the changes. If you don't really understand the whole process, you can actually get someone who has an understanding of the system to set it up for you. But always don't do all the customization in 1 week. Wait for 30 days, make a change where it is needed. Mistake number three, adding too many users fast. Start with one user, yourself. Get it working, then add the team. Before you add them, train them. Because if nobody learns it properly, then the whole thing fails. Mistake number four, pruning. Every 6 months, in fact, we said every week, then every 6 months, you need to archive contacts that we haven't touched in 6 months, or deals that have died, so that we don't have an accumulation of a lot of information that is not useful to your decision making. Maintenance is just the price of having a CRM. So make sure that you maintain your contacts, prune those contacts that are not useful, archive them somewhere. You know, it doesn't mean you have thrown them away. You can also move them into a different system, like a mailing system, where they are mailed here and there. But this has got nothing to do with the CRM. When they become active, automations are there to actually move them back into the deal stage. Those are things that we can discuss in the future. Number five, trusting free forever. You really know that there's nothing for free in this world. These are just made to get you addicted, these free tiers. So it's fine to use the free tier for testing, but if you are really serious about using a CRM that brings you a return, then pay for what you want. If 1,000 contacts cost a certain amount, see your budget, just pay for them. And when you need more users, just pay for them. You don't want any surprises. You're making use of a free system, and then it tells you now we've locked things, you need to pay. So just make sure that you don't trust these free systems forever. You have to pay in some way. Here's what you can do after this video. Pause for 10 minutes, answer the 5 questions, pick five, actually pick one bucket, pick 2 tools out of that bucket, run a workflow. Don't put this up until next week. Momentum dies in 48 hours. You're watching this video because you really want to choose a proper CRM. If you want the exact 5 questions worksheet, I've put it in the description below. No email collection is needed. It's just for free. Just click on it and it will download. If this video really helped you, well, I have a series of videos that help in making use of applications. There's going to be a natural follow-up to today's video, but I'm building this channel around helping small businesses to run leaner and smarter and in an automated way. So if that sounds like something that you're interested in, just hit subscribe and don't miss out on the next one. That's it. Thanks for watching. I'll see you in the next one.